There is a chance that the price of XRP Ripple coin could reach $3 very quickly. They have proof of this, even though it sounds crazy. Ripple is also likely to win its court case against the SEC very soon, which could be the most important sign of a bull market ever. Let's take it one step at a time. You'll be amazed by this movie. Let's get straight to the point, not to Benny Ripple. The legal fight between ABS and the SEC has been going on for a long time, and it is finally reaching its peak. For almost 4 years, the crypto industry has been very interested in what happens to XRP, which is the token that powers Ripple's payment system. Now that important dates are coming up and big changes are being made to how things are done, a final settlement seems closer than ever. An expert in cryptography named Ato Fina wrote it all in a tweet. Here's what's next for XRP now that the SEC case is over. Even though the legal dust hasn't settled completely, this case seems to be getting close to its end. It's a big one that could have long-lasting effects on not only Ripple but also the whole crypto industry. On June 16th, the SEC has to give a report on the situation to the U.S. Court of Appeals. Today is a very important day. This is the last day of a 60-day period that began with earlier hearings, where problems that hadn't been fixed were a lawyer who has been following the case very closely. Bill Morgan said that this new information could show whether the SEC plans to keep pushing its appeal or drop the case. If either the SEC or Ripple files new documents or replies with more information, it could start the process needed to end the case for good. On the other hand, if neither side says anything, it could mean that a secret peace deal is being made behind the scenes. The most recent events happened after Ripple and the SEC asked for what is called an indicative ruling but were turned down. They basically asked Judge Analisa Torres to say something about a certain issue and see if she would be willing to lift a long-standing ban. Judge Torres turned down a request for an injunction before the case was brought back to her courtroom from the appeals level, saying it was not in line with the rules. If the parties want to keep going down that path, any new request must be formatted correctly and sent again. There is a lot at stake in this formal dance. If there is a settlement, a lot of money could be moved around. For example, $50 million could be sent to the SEC and the rest of the escrow assets could be given back to Ripple. This could give Ripple full financial freedom and could change how liquid XRP is in big markets. Just now, a long file from a third party showed up on the court's record. This adds to the mystery, since the paper said bad things about the filing goes against the SEC's main point of view by calling into question the idea of investment contracts in the context of self-driving coins. The Howey test is a legal standard used to see if an asset is a security. The fact that so many people are paying attention shows how important this case is to them and how tense the court situation is. Users of cryptocurrencies, financial and legal authorities are all keeping an eye on things. Many people are also wondering if the rules that were used to manage investment plans in the 1940s can still be used to manage blockchain technology in the 21st century. At the same time, recent tweets show that the business as a whole is picking up speed. Another one is Jack the Rippler. A well-known member of the XRP community said that the SEC announced it would be holding its final crypto round to discuss crypto DeFi on June 9th. We're not going away. That's how a lot of people feel about the crypto movement. The crypto movement isn't going to wait to see what happens at court. The outcome of this case could set a standard that is used far beyond Ripple's offices. It would be worse for the SEC's overall plan to classify crypto assets as stocks if they back down or if the courts rule again in Ripple's favor. That would be a big change in the rules that would affect how new tokens are released, how assets are listed on platforms, and how developers build decentralized apps. It's crazy what crypto experts are saying. A lot of stress in the air because people think Ripple will win, and it's not just for people who own XRP. XRP is going through the roof because new rules are being made, and big players are rushing to change their stances. If Ripple wins, it could send a huge wave through the crypto business. In the crypto world, everyone is holding their breath. What are these big claims? You need to hear some of them because they will blow your mind. People who are important in the XRP world are tweeting that you should get really happy if you've never sold your XRP before. The diamond-handed attitude was really well captured by Crypto Sensei. It's clear that many of them didn't catch it when I said panic sellers were being shaken out, and they certainly didn't catch it now. Many Christians think that XRP is about to go off the charts. People like Steph are sure of this. This is the last building before Ripple takes off. People are more likely to have high-speed confidence like Pumpkin did when he said that XRP would go up by 40,000% when the case is finally over. He called it a huge green candle coming. Some people might think that's crazy or even insane, but remember that XRP has already done something that seems impossible. At its peak in 2017, it was worth over $3. In its early days, it was worth less than a penny. That's why XRP is going up so quickly. Dragon's last post got so much attention that he said a similar jump from $3,000 to $3,000 shouldn't be thrown out totally. That's a 99,900% increase. He made it sound like XRP could do that with just a guess. What could it do now that it is accepted and clear for real use? Some people doubt that the steep rise that happened before is possible again. They point out that when the price of XRP was set the first time, there wasn't much liquidity in the market. They also say that the current market, which is more developed, crowded, and controlled, has a lot of problems. Other people think that $300 to $300 might be a better higher limit, because that's where XRP's growth started during its real breakout phase, which started around $22. But for long-term users, those numbers would still be life-changing even if they were 50 times what they are now, which is what XRP Avengers says they will be. Then there are the statements that are really out of this world, like Levi, who says XRP will reach $500. There have been a lot of talks about how XRP could help make global payments easier, especially with digital currencies run by central banks. If XRP became an important asset for CBDCs that work across countries, it could cause price changes that the market has never seen before. But all of these predictions are based on hope, not just talk. Ripple has spent years of research and development hoping that these predictions will come true. We hope that going to court, building infrastructure, and making connections around the world will finally pay off. We hope that usefulness will win out over guesswork. I hope it was worth it to stay strong during the storm. Numbers like 40,000%, 99,900%, or even $10,000 may seem crazy, but they're not just dreams. They show support for a project that has been looked at, fought against, and put under more pressure than almost any other cryptocurrency. The SEC's case is almost over, but the project